Good morning. It's Thursday, October 30th. This is the Automotive State of the Union. I'm Paul J. Daly. That's Kyle Mountsier. Today we're talking about rebuilding this big aluminum plant, Tekion welcoming competition, and the skills every CEO needs. I'm going to read this one twice. I was thinking yesterday, as I'm looking around at the pretty broad scope now of the content that is around in the automotive industry, which excites me. There are so many people talking about the news, talking about best practices, trying to get people together, having events, making content from their events, posting on social media. There's so much now. And I was just thinking back to what the landscape looked like when
5 years ago.
Yeah. Like when I remember when I wrote the automotive manifesto and started making content, people were looking at me like real funny. Like when I'd be like taking selfie videos or like producing content, putting out. And then I think about what it was when we started ASOTU during COVID. And when it came like, how are we talking about the news? How are we talking about insights and what was available then versus what it's grown into now? And
it's a freight train now.
I'm pretty proud of the industry.
I'm proud.
Like we're doing the thing now. It's no longer behind. Like we're on par now, which makes for a really fun race.
We might be getting close to a head, so let's go.
That's what we're working. I mean, that's how we're going to be the industry everybody wants to fight to join if we're not ahead.
Right? Oh, get me all fired up on
nobody wants to be a part of the losers team.
No, none of the losers.
No one's like, let me join the industry that's behind.
Front runners only,
no one
baby.
Ever.
Front runners only.
That's right. All right. So what part of that, what we're doing is putting out webinars. The ASOTU Edge Webinar, the next one's coming up a week. Well, not even less than a week.
Less than a week.
Wednesday, November 5th, 2 p.m. Eastern. We're talking about AI not paying off until the data plumbing is fixed, right? Garbage in, garbage out. We're going to be with our friends David Steinberg from foureyes and Daniel Kim of Barnes Crossing, who also founded a little company. You found a company at one point?
Founded a little company called Orbi.
Yeah, so he knows a thing or two about data and data plumbing. So you would be really well served to sign up for that webinar at ASOTU.com. Even if like the AI and the data plumbing aren't like your central jam, right? You should sign up for the webinar so you learn a little bit of something about what's going on and how it applies to you. So go to ASOTU.com, sign up for the webinar, and do the thing. We also released a new episode of our other podcast called Auto Collabs, little longer form, 20 minutes. It's great for the ride to work, great for walking the dog, the whole thing. We're talking about stop guessing, start testing with Derek Hansen of vAuto, a seasoned veteran that has access to a lot of data and has watched a lot of transition. You would also be well served to hear what he has to say about the current state of data and what you can be doing at the store level and a practical level to be a front runner. Isn't that what we want to be? Be a front
runners, baby.
I made a post yesterday about ASOTUCon, and I think I got a lot of people fired up.
A lot of people fired up. People getting on the old list. You can drop your name on the list, ASOTUCon.com, just to be one of the early people to get some information on when all the information about ASOTUCon drops. So make sure you're on that.
One of our favorite dealers texted me, and he recently has started like this new group and this venture, and he's doing all this stuff. And he's like, this year, I'm bringing a whole crew to ASOTUCon, he said. And that got me so excited. I mean, it's a little more than 6 months away, but still circle it on your calendars, May 12th through 15th, the week after Mother's Day. Just circle it now. That way, when we drop all the official information, you can fill it in. We really want you to be there with us this year. Let's talk about some news.
Let's go.
This one is super close to home, which is why we wanted to include today. Our headquarters in Syracuse, New York, the Novelis plant that we covered 2 weeks ago, where there's a big fire. It's actually like only probably 30 miles from the office here. And it actually is pretty close to a nuclear reactor right on Lake Ontario that I can see all the way from like my drive-in.
Wow.
On like a clear morning, I'm like, there it is.
Okay.
A mid-September fire at the Novelis massive Oswego, New York aluminum plant has definitely made a dent in the automotive supply chain, putting Ford and some other OEMs in damage control mode as crews are working nonstop to rebuild the facility. The fire was on September 16th, destroyed 40,000 square feet of the roof, stopping aluminum heating and all the rolling operations where they like roll the melted aluminum into, sheet metal that they use to produce, I don't know, some of those low profit vehicles like F-150s and Expeditions and Navigators and all that. So they have a 24/7 crew now There's 1,900 of 2,400 replacement parts. What they need to get it back running are on site. Ford is estimating the supply interruption will cost them 1.5 to $2 billion.
Good. Next.
They basically this company supplies 40% of U.S. auto sheet aluminum.
40. I mean, that is wild. That's wild. And this is in the midst of also having semiconductor problems because of that stolen ship. Like we're in another moment of inventory crunch. You know what's crazy? I kind of like it.
That says everyone in the auto industry. Oh, they'll complain about, well,
I'm couple few less pieces of inventory on the ground, drive supply down, increase demand again, lowering interest rates, higher profit margins. Q1's going to be lit. Like,
you're here for it, but also
I'm kind of here for it,
raising prices too. It'd be great if interest rates continue to drop so that maybe that'll offset some of the price increases.
Well, it sounds like we're going to get another half point like in the next few months.
It's a hot debated topic. The Fed lowered it by 25 basis points yesterday. And, what some of the stuff I've been reading saying, like, there's actually a lot of dissension within the ranks of the Fed. Like, some people have been like, we're not moving fast enough. And Jerome Powell, he's got a great poker face, I guess. He's just like, don't expect that there's going to be another one. But it's like when you tell your kids for Christmas, listen, don't expect a lot this year, right? And then you show up with the bike and all the things. But this plant, Novelis, I was reading a little more into this article, and they've literally got a 24/7 operation, full feeling like an alien construction site where the lights and the tarps and the tents. And I don't know if you knew this, Kyle, but the weather's not great this time of year.
It's not the most
fantastic in upstate New York. Like today, we have a 40-degree drenching rain today.
Yeah.
And if they don't get this thing moving in Oswego, I used to live in Oswego.
That's some snow.
We get a lot in Syracuse. We get like an average of 150 inches a year. Oswego gets like 230.
Good night.
On average. Yeah. It's a thing.
The fact that y'all know your snow quantities.
Bro,
here we're like,
there's a competition.
We get some dustings and we shut down.
There's a competition every year.
I do think it's cool that Ford is putting that much intention and Novelis is putting that much intention on getting this thing back online. The fact that you're going 24/7, throwing all the chips in. That's another just part of the resilient auto industry. They're like, yo, we're down. We better get back up. Let's go.
That's right. Let's talk about a new company. As Pinewood.AI eyes an ambitious U.S. rollout backed by Lithia Motors, Tekion CEO Jay Vijayan says, bring it on, dismissing the UK-based DMS company as no major threat in America's complex dealership software market. Basically, Pinewood spun out of a Lithia-owned Pendragon in the UK, and they plan a full-scale US push after Lithia transitions to its platform by 2028. The US DMS market is dominated by CDK Global, Reynolds & Reynolds, DealerTrack, and Tekion has been a new challenger over the last years, gaining some momentum. Vijayan said where was he? He was at an event. It's not in here, but I read that it was live on stage at an event. He said the U.S. market size and regulatory complexity give Tekion an edge. He says, I don't even have the slightest concern. He said the UK is different than the U.S. Tekion, a big proponent of data freedom, even as it remains locked in a battle with some of the other providers over access and competition. 1,500 full DMS clients and 4,000 people using Tekion software. Vijayan said profitability is expected by 2026. So they're not profitable yet.
Yeah.
Emphasizing strong financial economics and long-term growth. Oh, this was said at Presidio Group's Auto Technology Summit. Said it during a break. Was this like an official interview, or did somebody hear him say it? Like,
no, this is like someone was sneaking on this conversation.
Well, but it was in automotive news. So
that's good. That's some good reporting. Here's the thing. Go to Pinewood.AI, go to the North American site, check banner for see you at NADA. They're not waiting until 2028. This is coming hot and furious. This is tested at over 100. I think it's over 120 dealers in the UK. It's definitely different. The scale is different. The market demand is different. What it takes to change any sort of DMS or deeply integrated system. But when you're riding on the back of the largest dealer in the country, there's definitely an accelerant to being built really fast. And Pendragon is a force in the UK. So, this is going to be something that I think is just going to be another one of those players that come in, and we're just going to hear a lot about it because of the public persona of Lithia. But I agree, like Tekion's already done a lot to drive adoption in and gotten a lot from OEM relationships as well. And some of those are hard to come by, but displacing the larger players is always going to be tough in a market where data is hard to move and it's a big project. So, maybe for some smaller, more resilient, more progressive dealers that are willing to like go through the pain of change, they're going to see some adoption here. But I love the market competition because it forces everybody to be better.
To get better. We were talking about that at the beginning of the episode. To be clear, Lithia owned 51% during the acquisition, but since Pinewood has actually bought back some shares, so Lithia still has a 30% stake, but not a controlling stake. Just as a side note.
Side note.
Speaking of side notes,
Segue.
CEOs make a lot of side notes and documents and papers.
Contrary to popular belief, this story is not about Paul walking out, but a record wave of CEO exits are reshaping what success looks like at the top of retail as technology, AI, and shifting consumer behavior redefine the landscape. Retail CEO departures are up 116% year over year, with 64% saying they're unplanned, according to Russell Reynolds Associates, a firm looking at this. Leadership experts say modern executives must blend tech fluency, marketing insight, and operational skill to stay competitive. Norm Yustin, global omni-channel retail and luxury practice leader at Russell Reynolds Associates, say that 3 times fast as quick changes in strategy require different leadership skills. There are shorter prove it clocks.
Yeah,
that's a big deal. Like,
here's my take
that
on
you're
this.
allowed to like prove yourself because
It's
of the
shorter.
pace of change is
This is why I think this ties back to the auto industry. We are seeing so many next generation leaders taking over as general managers, as sales managers, service managers, as dealer principals. And the reality is the tech savviness of them, or at least up into a point, is a requirement of the job now, especially if you're going to grow. So I like how it kind of boils it down. It's like technology, operational savvy, the marketing savvy. And I mean, it's not said here, but it's really implied with the position, leadership savvy, right? Because you need to get all the pieces moving in the same direction. And so I think this is, again, back to the beginning, I think this is something that automotive is actually doing really, really well at right now, is the next generation of leaders leaning into technology and understanding it, being willing to adapt and willing to pause. And I mean, this makes sense. The cool thing about automotive is, though, there is so much more succession in general of like one person to the next than in a lot of these other companies where it's just like, oh, you're out, new guy in.
You know what I'm thinking about? Like, we've for so long been, the car industry has said these 30-day cycles hurt us. And to where I still think that there is some pain in that, where we fail to cast broad vision or take the time to make broad changes because we're afraid of what this next 30-day cycle could or could not bring. But what it also allows us to do is pivot quickly. Right? Oh, need to adopt this new tool. Oh, I want to try this new thing. Oh, research and develop this new way of working. Kind of comes inherent with find the new way to win in this 30-day cycle. So I think dealers and leaders that can balance those things really, really well, like the blessing and the curse of the 30-day cycle, are absolutely going to win.
I think you nailed it. Let's get some comments. Comments coming in. Jason Fleming excited about ASOTUCon. Rob Downs asking if this hoodie is available in the store. No, I got this at the Lululemon outlet in Orlando, but if you send us one, we will print on it for you. We'll see you here tomorrow.